Hey, good evening. How you doing, man? Yep, afternoon for me. My name is Jeremy. How you doing today? Which, oh yeah, I've met an Avi before. Zion works for me too. Yeah, over here in Texas, it's hot as hell, man. So hey, I appreciate you making some time for me. It's funny. There's plenty of people that offered, of course, to have us jump in and help for free and all this kind of stuff. But I was hoping to get good one-on-one time where I could really pick someone's brain and kind of we have a lot of, like, I'm going to come pass a lot of this information on to my friends, and I catch on very quickly. We're pretty hardcore gamers, but I am the first to admit that I'm bad when you just drop me into a world and say, here you go do it. And so I kind of had an idea of what we might do together, and you tell me if it's a bad idea or if we should look at something different. But I thought it's best to start off by kind of going through the start to finish, kind of from, here's what you'll probably do on day one, here's how you'll spend your first few weeks, and then here are the win conditions. And then we kind of hop in together and actually do some stuff in the world too. Right. By the way, it looks like they started up another server, right? There's NA2 and EU2 right now as well. Okay. Yeah, I just dropped into the NA2, which didn't exist a while back, and there's nothing done on order. That's for sure. Normally you spawn into like some already made base, right, with a bunch of shit. And oh, good. That's good because spawning into a bunch of chests like with free gear in them felt very weird to me. It's like, okay, guess I'll grab some epic bows and kill some boars. I just rolled up NA2 order because I figured, I could do like a brand new character. I was just trying to test sound out so I could hear you and hear the game at the same time. But yeah, I was just happy that invert mouse actually worked, which was nice. Yeah, I love it, hated it. Okay, gotcha. So north is not really north. We're just talking relatives. We're talking faction north, right? This is order north. Gotcha. It's like stage right and stage left and stuff like that. So it's faction north. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Right. Oh, I see. Yeah. Gotcha. Hmm. So you only have to craft something once to unlock the next tier, or there's. Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. Right. Oh, so you can actually make your own epic ones, like your own purples and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I see the tab at the top too for research. I just clicked on it. Is this in any way tied to those random, like, I think I get little research orbs when I killed stuff sometimes? Yeah, is that something different? That has nothing to do with the research. Okay. Oh, grinding. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're talking sparks of genius, right? That's what we're talking about getting. So that's the currency. Gotcha. So these days, instead of having to grind out a million different things to satisfy the requirements to advance, you're doing this stuff, getting sparks of genius, and then spending it on whichever one of these you want to advance. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like armory tier 3, are we talking about, or what? Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. And who are we unlocking this for? Myself, my tribe, or really? So this is not all 20 that are online at the same time, but it could be like 100 people on a faction, right? So So I collect. Let's say I go out and I collect 5 sparks of genius in adventuring. I can unlock this for essentially my entire faction. Uh huh. Oh. Oh, I see. So people are dumping this. Okay, I thought it was just those 3 little ticks you were talking about. Those 3 little diamonds to fill it up. Gotcha. So yeah. And all this research stuff, is this all faction wide, or do you often have to make choices as to do I contribute to faction or do I contribute selfishly? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess I'm trying to understand the cooperation because we've never played a game where, you know, the games that we play, it's like, look, okay, I'm gonna be the builder, you're gonna be the guy that crafts all the weapons, and the other guy is gonna focus on taming, and we're gonna build our badass base, and yeah, we'll share with the other guys too, but like the focus is on making sure that our base is awesome. But like for example, right now it sounds like everybody, like if I unlock a certain kind of building structure, the whole faction has access to that building structure. Is that right? So okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Um. Yeah. Our server is pretty organized about saying, hey guys, we're 80% towards this. Let's all push for. Oh, where? Uh, The Wonder of a Wild. Oh, oh, third row down. I see. Yeah, yeah. The personal saw and the one. Yeah. Uh huh. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Sure. Or if nothing else, the 10 of you are putting your sparks in one place, and then that's good enough to move the needle. So you can't do the third major tier until you've unlocked everything before it. Is that how that works? Like you can't. Uh huh. And then do. But so for example, let's go under construction, right? So they've got the first five items filled like the divinity seed and all those. Then they unlocked advanced construction techniques, and now we're working on personal stonecutter. Do we have to finish all those items before we can unlock superior construction techniques, or can we? Oh, as long as we got 3 of 5, then we can move on and then finished it out. Ah, and is that pretty common that people will go pick the 3 best ones and then push for the next tier and then go backfill when they need to? Yeah. So what I've learned about crafting progression so far is, and which by the way was not even on my radar for one of the first things we should talk about, but it is important, is what you unlock for the server. Sparks of Genius are the currency. It's pretty good to get on the same page about what you want to unlock. Try to advance tiers as fast as possible. So if the best case scenario is advance 3 of the best things in a row and then move tiers. Advance 3 of the best things, move tiers, and then backfill the rest as needed. Uh, and then, mhm, yeah, hmm, nice. Okay, tell tell me more about what a person should do by him. Like, let's say there weren't 10 of us. Let's say there's just 3 of us jumping in the world along with 17 others on launch day. What the hell should we do? That's like, what should we do that's cooperative versus what should we do by our own? Because in any other game, even with faction warfare, like we would form a tribe as us 3, and we'd build our own base, and we'd kind of have a, like, we'd be cool helping out our tribe, our faction, but we'd also have our own thing, right? We want our own base. We want to keep our own stuff. To tell me, it must be different here. It sounds very different here. So the goal really is going to be one tribe. It doesn't sound like several houses is very ideal. Yeah. No. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. But there are separate houses and separate tribes, right? Or separate guilds or whatever. What did they do? It's Dark and Light, which is built off the Arc engine. It's the fantasy, yeah, fantasy version of Arc. Right. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Huh. Nice. It's all. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. To your faction base. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, Alpha with everybody wanting a game to succeed can easily go in there and be like, let's all work together. But we all play video games, right? There's nothing to stop me from being like, I think it's fun to get on new Rend servers and popcorn everything I see in their faction base and then log off. Like there's nothing. So that to me is waiting to happen. So the idea of saying, hey, when it's big reckoning events and stuff like that, like we want our base of all the hard shit that we fought for, especially all of our personal items that we need to gear up for battle and stuff like that. We want a base with that stuff in it. So enemies can't come raid these bases. So defensibility is not an issue, right? Oh, so out here is a hostile area. I thought out here was like a safe area maybe. Hmm. The structures are vulnerable. Okay. Oh. Hmm. It's just yours. An enemy, but then it belongs to the enemy in your territory. That's weird. Okay, so I was under the false impression that like there were three factions that each had their safe territory, and then like you went into a more contested territory. That's how it was described to me. That must be totally wrong. Okay. So 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 if people try to attack me, they're going to take the same damage back. But if they have better armor than I do, only here. Oh, this very tiny. Okay, so people can just spawn camp if they want in a way. They can sit outside these stones. Okay. So so I don't see a lot of reason at all to what's the purpose of building a base outside of your faction base then? Okay. Okay. Uh, I'm in the Order Divinity Stone, by the way. That's the one I went to, so I'm actually at the Order base now. What? Oh, nah, there's no need. I'm only in game just to record while I talk to you. I'm not even really playing yet. I just want to chat with you. Yeah. Right. My my chief concern. So you know, I'm not one of those guys that has to build my own base. That's not the biggest deal, though plenty of us are good at base building and enjoy it. Of course, and our people loved it. My big concern is not having any privacy because dickbags like me and other games would run over there and just popcorn people's stuff where it's like, where is my chest with my epic bow that I like to use? And I go in there and I realize, and they're like, oh yeah, some guy got on last night and and delete everyone's stuff. Like, what can we do against that? So my options are, okay, good. Let's see why. Fourth research. Um, there's only three research on the first row. Okay, stash building. Oh, I see. So we all see one major chest, but I only see my stuff. They only see their stuff, etc. I was about to ask how you don't run out of room in this small ass base too. Who can who can build in this base, by the way? And what does this base look like day one? Completely blank slate with just a divinity. Mm-hmm. Hang on. Where'd you go? Okay, so the tree thing was the divinity seed. Yeah, that's your win condition. Feel that. What's this do? Oh, so you have to bring them back. You can't just use them on whenever you get them. And they're sparks. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yep. Mm-hmm. And it basically says this is where the Mystic Building goes. Gotcha. No, I didn't. I hate trailers, so I didn't look much at that. We'll talk about Reckoning soon. Okay. Huh. So even though this thing is down to just a plot, it does have a couple areas where it's like, hey, this is where this is gonna go, and then it's up to us to build it up however big we want based on upgrading it to level one, tier two, things like that. So so some guy can't come up here and do like a totally shitty base build just because he's bad, right? Kind of, but not. And anyone can build, but someone who has high enough rep can destroy. Because like, so one of my guys, I tend to be the PvP guy. I tend to be the guy that I'm the PvP guy, and I tend to make alliance as well. I tend to be the one that brings people in, that lets people know what we're doing. That kind of says, hey, we've got 8 of us here. We want more. I bring people together and I build guilds quickly. My guy, a good buddy of mine, is a streamer, and he's the one who loves to build. He's organized. He takes ownership of stuff. Very responsible. So I can tell you right now, there's a real good chance when we join the server that he might be one of those guys that ends up organizing stuff. He'll put in the work. He'll build smart. He'll organize all the chests. He's just great at that kind of stuff. So. Hmm? Yeah, but he also has a guy who likes to do the micro organization. So in other words, so Nick will go around like getting the chest in the right place so that it's very smartly designed, and then Steel, our other friend, will actually be like, this bow needs to go here, and like he'll move the stuff around. They're a wonderful team, and so yeah, so we have a great crew that because you had to do all this shit in Dark and Light and Arc and in Conan Exiles and stuff like that. So I see somebody looking to Nick and being and just giving him rep because they want him to be able to demolish stuff and move stuff. So that would be great if it worked out that way. But I hope there's enough mechanics to keep people from just turning this into a shit heap. Uh, how does how Yeah, Stairway to Nowhere. How does so how does rep work now? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I just saw that. Mhm. So not ladder rank though, right? We're just talking rank. Oh yeah. What's the difference between ladder rank and rank then? Uh-huh. Gotcha. It's relative. There's only so many X percentage or whatever. Okay. Now, how do you rise and fall? Because one problem with me is I'm kind of a dickhead. Right, so I'm one of those people who will do very well. I tend to be pretty vicious in PvP, but people definitely, if I don't want them to like me, they're not gonna like me. So I'm just curious, like, do people get to walk up to me, right click on my name, and downvote me? Okay. How do you gain it? Hmm. Yeah, it's a stone with leaves growing out of it. What the fuck they expect, right? Uh-huh. Um. Yeah, hold alt. Okay. Oh yeah. So your top left is your spirit thing, and how do you get those? Okay, you just collect them. No. Of all the cool shit in this game, that's pretty fucking lame. At night, you walk around and just grab a cute little ghost you find, and that's the main way to like fill up your win condition. It seems, yeah. That let's hope that's a work in progress thing. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, but like killing bosses should drop huge chunks of spirit. There should be, if that's the win condition, then there should be the most dangerous things you can do in the game, not frolicking in the goddamn forest at night with nothing more than your fists. But okay, continue. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. So eat a flower or collect spirits at and only at night is the only time you can collect those spirits. Boy, that is rough. I hope those guys have made some comment somewhere that acknowledges that that's not ideal. That's not even. I mean, I think rating it and being able to take a percentage, 5% of the spirit in there is something, but acquiring them could. I mean, that's how you gather fucking berries in Dark and Light, right? Like it's the lowest thing. It should be like large PvP. Anytime you capture someone's divinity seed, it should be special things because first of all, the idea of filling up a tree to win is a little lame anyway because it means that you can win with no one around you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a winning should be like the last person died in an epic war and that's the win, not just woohoo, I picked the last flower and now my tribe can win. That's a tough one right there. I sure hope they have thought that part a little bit better. And it's early enough that there's work in progress, but of all that I've heard of this game and the cool stuff they have, surely there's someone sitting around going, "Yeah, that's a little gay. We do have something better." I hope no one's like thinking, "Yeah, it's fucking rad, dude. You pick your flowers, you fucking fill up that tree, and the tree gets hard and." Yeah, well, yeah, screw the PvP, right? So tell me, so the base building thing sounds like it needs work because they're not really sure what role. Well, and to be perfectly frank, they didn't have base building at first, right? There was like an outcry from the community saying we want to be able to build our own bases. So they put it in. Yeah, they put it in the game, and now they're yeah because they're not really sure what role they wanted to play. So I get that. I'm glad that they were cool about adding it in something that people were so passionate about, and I understand them going. We kind of don't know what role we want it to play. They gave it to us, and they said we don't really know how strong we want it to be. Our idea was more that you guys would work together to upgrade the existing base. So I do get it. Um, mhm, mhm. Yeah. I do remember hearing. Yeah, I remember that when there was a big announcement a while back, and I mean I'm sure it was the crowd like me, this wave of people that came from Ark and Rust and stuff like that were basically like, why can't we have our own bases? What's the deal? And this is a very different kind of game, but I do know or I'll say this. I don't remember if I saw the outcry. I remember seeing the response, which was, "Hey, we've heard you guys. You really want your own bases." So I thought it was cool that they allowed it, but it sounds like they haven't figured out what role that's going to play. And it is pretty small PvP. If it's 20v20v20, that is a tight knit group. But at this point, I don't know what the point of a clan is, right? If it's only because we're gonna have 8 to 10 people in our clan, and if we all get on one night, that's most of the faction. That's half of the faction. Hmm. I think if people go ahead. Hmm. Right now, it feels like if everybody played the game the way you think they should, then there's no need for personal bases. If everybody works together and hi ho, it's off to work we go, and all this kind of stuff, then the faction base is going to be kick ass, and everybody's going to be contributing towards the common good and working towards the same unlocks and all this stuff. It's going to be incredible, but it's one bad egg can really screw some stuff up, and there's just a lot of issues like that. Um, so I see the need for people to want to make their own personal things, but I mean, who knows what structure health is like? And I mean, base complexity definitely is not going to be anything near honeycombing and all the crazy stuff you do in other games. So I don't know how feasible. Like I don't know if I should take my chances hiding something in a chest from some dickbag in the faction chest, or building it and hoping it doesn't get raided. Stash is pretty secure. Gotcha. And you can have a few of those. Oh, I'm sorry. Where did? Yeah, you're down there. I'm by the stone. Okay. Same time. Uh huh. Oh, normally so it starts with only two. It's because we've got like what 20 or something now. Hmm. Gotcha. Every single person has that, but and that's still not much though, right? Like that's just for like your best weapons. Okay, so uh huh. Uh-huh. By the and the person building this base, could they have made multiple stashes, or do you always just get one no matter what? Really? Okay, gotcha. So it's a personal vault. Yeah, I see. Okay. Um. Okay. So right now, what I'm seeing is there's really cool mechanics already for. So there's extensive crafting. Like the crafting is really robust. Yet the most dangerous thing I've heard so far is that all the amazing things you can craft, you can really just sneak around at night, grabbing fairies and flowers, and run back to the house and win. That's a concern. Um, and yeah, yeah. Walk me through some 6 weeks or so. Hmm. Hmm. It's good. It tells the enemy ahead of time, like, hey, this is about to happen. or if you take one, be prepared to lose your own or something like that. Hmm. So you said every 3 hours it goes down. So like there's opportunities multiple times a day to take a control point. What happens if they capture a control point? What does that do to you? Hmm. 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 Okay, that's nice. Yeah, you don't have to bring it back. It just fills it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So that's better than picking flowers for sure. Yeah. Right. And also, it should be a little random, just because like I work from home, so if I want to, I can sit there and set my timer and get on and the time everybody else is working. And I don't know what the ability is to solo cap these things, but I certainly could give it a try. Hmm. So you have 10 minutes to defend it. So you got to what? Quickly build some stuff and put it. Yeah. Yeah. Do you, okay. So uh-huh. Let me ask you this then. As soon as you capture it, you get all these resources and your tree fills up. What's the benefit of holding it? Just to keep somebody else from having getting the same benefits? So in other words, if you hold it, if you successfully defend it, you don't get another round of resources and stuff, do you? Oh, oh, I see. I thought it was just like one burst where you loot your stuff, you get your tree filled up, and then that was it. You capture it. You may as well walk away. You're saying it's a constant stream as long as you hold that control. That's nice. Each half hour. Okay, so it fills up your tree automatically, and each half hour you go collect some more sparks of genius. You have to manually collect those, right? So as long as we hold that point, somebody's over there checking it every half hour and bringing them back. Are they pretty hard to hold? Well, they're safe. They're safe for a little while, right? Ah, Huh. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they'll have to constantly mess with both structure HP and, the weapon strength and siege and all that kind of stuff. That'll constantly change, and I think anyone should expect that who's played any kind of game even remotely like this. That doesn't bother me to change those. Um, so for now, like on a day one, you would want to try to hold that as quickly as possible because you know how hard they are for people to take over. So, okay, so capturing a control point is a great way to score victory conditions. Uh, should we talk about the Reckoning next? It's twice a week, right? Hmm. Gotcha. Everything here that we see is vulnerable. This is the shield, right? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, okay. That's weird. But it's only an hour. So your goal is if you think you're in a spot where you can easily defend against the waves, then your goal is to get out there and add to the damage that the waves are going to do to somebody else, right? Hmm. And by just hitting it. Uh huh. Now, if they kill you, they get all that spirit back, right? So if I'm in the raiding party, if our side is good, we feel pretty good about fending off spirits, and I'm in the raiding party. I go to the other faction. I'm hoping if I got a clear shot and everybody's in a panic, I'm gonna run to that tree and whack at it as many times as possible. If I can't do that, then what am I hope? Is there a chance of looting stuff, or am I mainly just trying to bash shit and be an asshole? Okay. Reputation bound chest. Well, that's nice. So that's another protection against total dick bags. I mean, yeah, and there's plenty of games where I am that guy, and there's plenty of games where I want protection versus that guy. Um, this is one of those games where I want protection versus that guy, so that's good to know. Can you show me a chest by the way where we see that? I'm just trying to figure out. And so there's only one of the stashes, but the other chest, the lead builder or whoever's building them can decide is this going to be a reputation locked chest or not. Gotcha. Can you see the? Box of penises. So, tell me what I'm looking at that tells me this though. Like, how do I know which one is? Besides the fact that I can't open it, is there info on it that tells me like? Okay, right. But this one says Warlord Secure Chest. What does the Warlords mean? Is that just the type of chest it is? Gotcha. So it's Warlords only. Warlords are better. So this could be like a something else secured chest, right? It could be a private secured chest or whatever other ranks there are. Uh-huh. But there are. Oh, so they look different. So it's not like I just create a chest and then set different permissions. There's an actual different chest per rank. Yeah. Cosmetic refineries, personal base upgrades. Oh, storage. So what's a large trusted chest? What is that? Mhm. But when I create a large trusted chest, am I able to then set what level chest that is? Oh, trusted is an actual rank. Gotcha. Where are the higher ranks then? I just oh, I just can't make them yet. Medium elder chest, large elder chest. I just can't make the really high level. I can't make a captain chest. Heh. Gotcha. Okay, and it's kind of cool. They look different. I mean, it's any. It sounds like I like that they've done as much work as they have to some of the permissions, but they are gonna have to keep doing stuff like that, or just give a shit about try. Like they can't make it so that hey, congratulations, you're basically all in the same guild and you're all forced to be in the same base. They're gonna have to either go nuts over permissions, or they're gonna have to start saying, okay, spread out and do your own thing sometimes. Oh, so you played before then too, huh? Okay. By the way, when I die, I can go to tons of people's Divinity Seed. That doesn't mean I'm in their base, right? Hmm. But obviously, like, if I'm building a base to be private, I don't want someone teleporting inside my base, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Who is it? I got 10 seconds on my respawn. Renziel's Divinity Seed? Stag's Wood? Okay. Alright. I'm in this dude's base. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And never. Yeah. here's where here's where you're gonna have to keep explaining it to me because everything and this shouldn't surprise you based on the games I've played. Everything tells me if I'm building a private base and I put this Divinity Seed, by default, no one but people in my tribe should be able to respawn here. I don't want anybody. Yeah, my clan. No one should be fast traveling here. I don't want any. I want the doors shut. I want my chest in here. I want my dude's stuff in here. I want mining resources nearby. And we want to kind of have our outpost so that we can all collect stuff. And then whenever we bring our stuff back to the tree to deposit all our stuff, we're gonna come as a party so we don't get ambushed. You see what I'm saying? Like we act as a tribe as opposed to all of us running around like just 8 random noobs. We have that's the goal. It's really weird that all this stuff is by default. What just happened? Huh. Yep. I hear you just fine. I'm teaching him those permissions. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Hmm. This is just a regular divinity seed. So it sounds like it sounds like there's a lot of like old stuff in the game and new stuff, and they're not quite sure which one is right. And yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm. Okay. Because like we'd have no problem putting a fast travel outside of our base for friendlies, and then our personal one inside, right? That's what I would normally do. That's a cool idea for people. But we're gonna have one inside for whenever we got our base with our chests and things like that. Um, so how are people? Huh? Like just leave a door open or something, right? Yeah. Hmm. That's gonna be necessary for this, because with all the uncertainty, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, just give people little teleport nodes, but still give yourself your own personal ones so that it's sectioned off. So I'm curious, how are people PvPing and how are people raiding? It's yeah. So some schmuck is sneaking around with a hammer, ting tinging on some rock, right? Yeah. But the metal ones are the big one is or the one with flex in it. Ah, what about this one? Nope. No. Yeah, I had made a few of them before by looking at the crafting thing, but I haven't been focusing on the game yet. We've just been chatting. Uh huh. Okay. Yeah. Uh huh. So there are different tiers of strength, right? So you always have to do it sequentially. You always start from this bullshit stuff. Okay. Oh, so it's not necessarily that you just do straight up the chain. At some point, there's decision points. Is Sagan? I'm sorry, I had. Gotcha. And they each have different upgrade paths. Gotcha. Okay. And they each have an in game one, right? They each have like an in game thing, but it has different strengths. Yeah, I'll take a look at those later for sure. Then. So PvP then the Reckoning is more of an event. It's really more of a PvE event with an opportunity. It, and so the forced PvP is one of the most enticing parts of this game. It's the fact that for the most part, the stuff that we've played, Ark, Dark and Light, Conan Exiles, most of that was wait till someone goes asleep and go beat down their door and take all their shit. So we liked Rend because it sounded like there were some areas where you had to contest for resources and you had to contest during the Reckoning. But even those things sound a little flimsy right now, where contesting for resources really just means get a little raiding party of 2 or 3 guys together and go mine a bunch of shit and go hit them whenever they're right in the middle of defending, which is fine, but it's a little less. I was hoping it would be like everybody fight in this, like everybody has to show up to one area to fight and go over something. I don't know why there's not more obvious stuff like that. Like those monsters that spawn, those monsters should drop the best loot, but they shouldn't spawn and attack your base. They should spawn in the middle of the fucking map, and everybody should have to go and fight over who gets them. You know? Yeah, they're the best idea I've heard so far if they balance them right. Yeah. There was a asbestos in there or something. Yeah, a lot of it looks really nice. Yeah. Hmm. Well, there's also a downside of like, what's the upside of me killing you if you're in my territory mining some things? Because so there's huge upside for you because you're finally in enemy territory and you're about to get some special metal. I kill you and I get my own metal. You know, like it's not that. Yes, I successfully defended. It just sucks because I probably didn't get much. All I did was kind of defend my territory. It sucks that I've yet to hear of some really cool PvP that's purpose driven. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Oh, I thought that was a spirit thing. Okay, well. so so what is good? Let's say five people decide to go hit five people, like which doesn't happen very much in this game. But let's say there's big PvP going on. What weapons are being used? Just five dudes with bow and arrows. Right. So what's being used in game? I guess is what I'm curious about because some people said there's like fucking laser guns or something, right? So I'm curious. Okay. Okay. How much melee? How much is there any kind of spellcraft or cannons or? Oh, what's a talent screen? It's like in and WoW and a lot of other games too. Okay, this is interesting. Hmm. So you max out one and have a sub one, right? Oh, okay. Warlord for now. Okay. And it's just a one pointer and it moves you to the next one. It's okay. So when you hit a critical area, you get the extra damage. Hmm. Hmm. So I'm level one. I haven't even leveled yet. Oh, I haven't done anything. Okay. So why? What's max level and why can I pick two? Can I just always pick two and put equal points in each? I'm gonna want to max. I'm gonna want to hit that maximum for one of them, right? What's the max level? Oh, huh. Okay. You can just only take that you can only take that final one for one of your things. So there's nothing under spells. There's nothing under it. You have to learn. Oh, so you. Hmm. So the customization thing is nice, and the global unlock thing is pretty cool. There are some things I'm finding out that I really like, and the things I don't like, even though they're disappointing, like really crossing my fingers that the devs see it too. It's hard for me to believe that the same devs who are this passionate, who crank out this much content, are like, yeah, we're happy with the lack of meaningful PvP. You know, because it's lacking. I mean, I know Frostkeep. There's a lot of ex Blizzard devs, and there's people that have worked on serious games. Yeah, right, and that's a big reason. I mean, the Dark and Light team are, if Arc was bad, Dark and Light was a tenth of what they were as far as communication and accountability, and just it was yeah. It's like I've come from an abusive relationship, and so I've just been excited to see a team that cranks out content and that talks to their players. So while this is a little bit of a concern for me, I also know they're very early on, and they have implemented things that their players have suggested, and it looks like they put in stuff in the game pretty fast, and then they're happy to iterate. So I'm excited to see that they're nimble. They'll look at something and say, "Well, yeah, let's change that. Let's do this." I like that. I was under some incorrect impressions for sure. I thought the Reckoning was a time where everybody showed up to a place with a bunch of boss mobs and fought over them and fought each other and fought the mobs, and like it was all bloody, and some of you died and some of you got loot, and so that I was wrong about that, but I understand it. I also thought that there was like a better finale. It sounds like at this point you could be walking around hitting some rocks, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, the conclave has won, and you're like, yeah, that's really rough. Now that also that screams incomplete game though, right? Like that I don't think that's how anybody wants. It's pretty hard for me to believe, you know, for a game that touts itself as being match based kind of, and that talks about being like, oh it resets. There's no way that's how they want it to end. I mean, yeah, like throwing my throwing my t-shirt in the laundry bin after I jerk off is like a higher point than whenever this game declares a winner, so I hope there's more to come. I think actually, by the way, Lana's base was pretty cool. By the way, I like that. That was pretty neat. I don't know the point of base building besides cosmetic. I was hoping it would be a place to, like, you build a base near some cool resources and you use it to kind of be your little outpost near some dangerous creatures. Yeah. Oh, nice. I, yes, I heard someone bitching about rendering problems, so it might be the case that you can build. Either they were bitching about the faction base, or they were saying someone built a base so complex that before it was even rendering, people were getting gunned down and stuff. I don't know if they were talking about the faction base or a player base, but I read that recent criticism. Recent, yeah. Are there flying mounts, or are there only ground mounts now? Yeah, it's a totally different game, so I get it. I mean, Dark and Light was amazing because it had it. I love flying mounts, but I'm not going to argue with a dev if they think that it will change the game because sometimes the second, yeah, the second you add a flying mount, you do completely change things. So I don't think it's something people should do willy nilly. So it's cool with me if they don't want to. I know you said so. Taming is new. I've already read a little bit about how there's supposed to be, like you said, five different ways. Like there's different ways of taming, and each tame is supposed to have like a preferred way. And from what I've gathered, it's eventually right. And from what I gathered, it's eventually going to be the case that like if you're not taming it the way it prefers to be tamed, you won't survive the whole spirit world thing. But all that having been said, tell me what people are doing now so I understand. You see something in the world you want to tame. What the hell do you do? What do you need to have? What do you do? Oh, yeah, send it to me for sure. First one to write a taming guide, man. That's how it works. Yeah. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Spirit residue. How do you so you're using wait so instead of putting it in the tree you keep some of it and choose to use it on tames instead? Uh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. And it costs. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Huh. So, but they don't have to. Okay. But every time you shoot it, there's instant torpor. They don't have to like break a chain or anything, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you'll. Oh, that's nice. That's good for people to know. Hmm. Hmm. So let me back you up because I got a little bit lost. So we're we're shooting them with arrows. Once we shoot them with enough, what happens? And then it and then it's in your stable at that point. The spirit stable is in your faction base, right? And it's just your mount at that point. It's just basically a summonable mount. And is well, sure. People hate having to take care of their pets and feed them. Uh, Dark and Light was horrible. They started. It made it so that like maintaining your trough to feed your animals was a full time job. Um, it was really bad. So can your pets die to where they're gone for good? Yeah. Uh huh. To raise your pet. Yeah. No. No, I was saying to the cost goes up to raise your pet, right? To yeah, to revive. Okay. So the higher the pet level, the more arrows you need. How many arrows are people usually bringing in when they're ready to tame something? 30 spirit arrows. Hmm. Just so bring a shitty weapon and just what stand toe to toe, or are you strafing around trying not to take damage? Well, 1 minute trying to get 30 arrows off could be. Oh yeah, yeah. You take more than you need, and just take a yeah, just take a separate motion. Okay, that's good to know. And so as soon as it's tamed, you're good to just pop out. So you pump levels into them. If you die, if they die, do they come back at the same level or as their tamed level? Hmm. So there's zero downside. No downside for a pet dying. Okay. Give me the quick lowdown on these four, just your impression so far on the four archetypes, because shaman is clearly great at taming. So just, I mean, let's not go through talents or anything like that. Let's just talk about basically like if we're thinking of roles that you might want your guild members. Because we got, like I said, 8, 9, 10 guys right now who are super interested, and we all have guild like roles we'd like to perform usually. So, what should we be thinking about? Mm-hmm. You're saying before, right? You're saying before. It's none. This doesn't apply. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is he more sieging and raiding versus, like? Uh-huh. So a little more of a team lead. Okay. Yeah. Very utility based, right? He's the one that it sounds like the guy that does the most farming and mining and getting out there surviving, and also wants to support the PvP and stuff is going to do really well with that role. Mm-hmm. I'm already doing it. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. No. They just put in the hard work and Yeah, he sounds like he's mainly farming in utility and support because even though he's got PvP, I mean everyone's got PvP stuff. It sounds like what you want is a Pathfinder on your team. I don't think he doesn't look like the kind of person who, if you're a Pathfinder main, he's going to run around solo wrecking. That's not who you want by himself, killing everyone. You want him as a support guy, which I know a few people who would be real interested as Pathfinder main with a shaman secondary. Um, I know some people who like that role where it's like they always have somebody whose guns blazing with them, and they want to bring as much utility to the table as possible. What does shaman do besides? It looks like there might be some healing and some taming. Oh yeah, they do more damage at night. Yeah, it's a taming thing. Okay. Huh. Yeah, this is a lot of spirit gathering. That's a lot of what the shaman does. It's interesting that it's. Uh-huh. Oh, there's like another little passive thing he gets, like a stat or something.